It doesn't matter what you want to feel. People, landscape, events, trending dances, or maybe your own vlog. These essential rules will help you instantly improve your videos. Hi, my name is Artyom. I've been making videos for 5 years, professionally and as a hobby. And I wish I knew these 5 the most important things when I just started. Let's go. So the first will be light. Why light first? So you have to keep in mind one very important thing. You are not filming the object. You're filming the light reflecting from the object to your camera or the phone. It doesn't matter how cool your camera is actually, how many megapixels it have. Without light, it doesn't matter. You can find million videos on the social medias where the people put side by side camera and the phone, and it's almost impossible to see the difference when you use light correctly. I'm not saying you have to run and spend all your money on the lights. No, start working with the light that everybody in this world has. The sun. I know you probably heard it a million times, but working with the sun gives you free light everywhere you go. The problem is you can't really control it. This is a small disadvantage, but also natural light can give you a lot of options, depends on when you're recording your videos and in what conditions. For example, different times of the day, morning, noon, evening, and different weather conditions, clear, cloudy, rainy, give you many variations of light, and it can help you to create the mood that you want. So you will probably ask, so what about indoors or night? Yes, you don't have the sun, but you have artificial light. The beauty of the night that people already created for you so many contrasting objects on the streets. They highlighting everything what they want you to see, and the rest hides in the shadows. So that basically means a lot of objects what you don't want to see in a shot will be not visible. So use it as an advantage. If you're filming somebody, just put them as close as possible to the source of light. Believe me, dealing with professional light right away can bring you a lot of struggle. First, learn how to use what you have, and then add something more when you feel like it's not enough. Working with the light is always better than trying to pull information out of the shadows in editing. Otherwise, you will get very blurry, unprofessional picture with a lot of annoying noise, which is impossible to get rid of without losing quality. If there is no way you can get better light on the object what you are filming, better leave it as it is and focus on something else. Let shadows be shadows. For example, I'm working abroad as a professional dancer, and of course I didn't bring a lot of big lights with me. Only these 2 guys what I'm using to record this video. They're of course too big to use them outside the room, and I wish I had something bigger, but that doesn't stop me to create cool videos for my friends at work. Okay, it's time for second essential. Camera position and movement. We all want to capture everything in one shot, I know. But why when you move your camera like this, your picture looks so unnatural and cheap? Let's make reference to your eyes. Try to move your eyes from side to side like you are doing it with the camera. Pretty hard, right? Because it's impossible. Your eyes always want to focus on something. That's the reason why this kind of camera moves look so unnatural and dirty. Because your eyes get lost and they just don't know where to look in the screen. I'm not saying that you can't do any kind of panning, but it has to be very slow and smooth so the viewer has the time to see all details what you're trying to show. Also, you can make sharp move. It will imitate your sharp head move like we often do in live, but it has to fit the mood of your video, of course. If you're trying to make a static, cool travel video, these sharp moves will be out of place. So in total, very smooth or very sharp, nothing in between. You probably will say, bullshit, how about objects which moves with specific speed? And here again, let's reference your eyes. Now put your finger in front of you, move it side to side and follow it with your eyes. Now you can move them smoothly, very easy, right? That's how our vision works. So in filming the same, when you follow an object, it doesn't matter how fast it moves. You just have to try to match the speed of the objects with your camera move. So just place object in the middle and Try to keep it there. And a little bit about camera positions. We talked a lot about eye references, but when you film, try to not hold your camera at eye level. That looks very flat and boring because 99% of phone users do exactly that. And it's normal because it's easy. So when you need just casual front view, try to hold your camera at chest level. That small change will give you natural and balanced perspective that feels real and comfortable to watch. Shooting at eye level fits more for telephoto lenses, which can look very far, so on that distance it really doesn't matter where you hold your camera, on your eye level, on chest. It will look pretty the same. And also it fits for documentary style footage. There's a lot of different angles what you can use when you shoot this camera or phone. But in general, just try to be creative. I told you film from the chest, but don't stop on it. You can go very low, you can go very high. Just play with it, and you will see how many different looks you can get. Also, if you have iPhone Pro, doesn't matter which one, you have 3 lenses. And I asked some of my friends, and not all of them actually know for what they have 3 cameras there. So this is actually different focal length. So you have ultra wide, wide as a main camera, and telephoto as your zoom. My iPhone 15 Pro Max, for example, has X5 telephoto zoom. So try to use zoom on your phone only with that exact numbers that you have, because everything between these 3 focal lengths will ruin your image quality. So now let's talk about video settings. For both cameras and phones, to get the best image quality, you have to use manual settings. For resolution, use 4K. So when you edit, you can crop your video however you want without really losing quality of your video. And we have also 3 the most important settings. ISO controls the sensor's sensitivity to light. Shutter speed controls how long the sensor is exposed to light. FPS, frames per second, is how many individual pictures your camera captures per second. I know if you never deal with this, it sounds very complicated, but you will get better with time and practice, and of course if you're really willing to improve quality of your picture. So on DSLR or mirrorless cameras, your ISO should be always as close as possible to the native settings. So you should search in internet about your camera that you have, or ask ChatGPT what is native ISO for your camera. Usually it's 640. iPhone works a little differently, or any other phone. Do not make it too complicated, just try to keep it as low as possible. Your frame rate depends on your style, but for that cinematic look, use 24 or 25 FPS. For shutter speed, always use 180-degree rule. That means your shutter speed number should be always 2 times higher than your frame rate. If you'll do it, you will get that natural motion blur you see in the movies. It doesn't mean you always have to follow this rule, but I would recommend first to learn how to use this rule before you start to break it. Even shutter speed can change mood of your video. If you have the camera, it's pretty obvious where the settings are. They're usually always visible on the screen. But what about the phone? You don't see the settings in the iPhone native camera app. You can only control your FPS and resolution. So if you want to feel like a pro, you'll have to switch to another app. So the most popular and professional iPhone app is Blackmagic Camera. It's free, so go download this app and then come back here so we can together set up your phone. So let's start. So here on the top you can see everything what we need. So let's go one by one. So FPS we are putting on 24 for now. So our shutter speed, the number has to be, as we remember, 2 times more. So we are putting 148. You are not always able to put exact number like 2 times more, but try to be just as close as possible. That's only rule. So ISO I will put around 100 because here is not super bright, and WB means white balance. So I don't want to stress you out a lot about white balance, but what I'm usually use when I need to set up white balance is I'm just pressing auto. So just figure out whatever it wants, and then I press auto again, so it's fixed on a specific number, and then I just press lock. I'll recommend you to do another thing, is put lock on the shutter. Why? In this app, if you will press to the screen without this lock, your ISO will change each time you're pressing on the screen. So we don't want this. So for some reason, when you're putting shutter with the lock, your ISO stop jumping, and touching the screen change basically only your focus. So about white balance, balance, it's really important to lock it, because if it will be on auto, it will jump wherever you will like move your camera, and then when you will edit your videos, it will be very hard to fix it. So don't worry a lot about this right now, just lock it and forget about it. So we got our settings right, so now let's go check it out. Oh, but what we see? Our picture is completely overexposed, but we did everything right. So what's wrong? Well, there is this thing. Of course, the sun will not adjust for your camera. So what do we use when it's too bright outside? Exactly, it's sunglasses. But of course, you will not use sunglasses for your camera. So we need special sunglasses, but for our cameras. And the name of this guy is ND Filter. If you want to improve your videos and make them look like a cinema, ND Filter has to be first in your Amazon checklist. This camera is pretty simple. If the size of your filter is right, you can just screw it on like this. I will have another video about this guy, so stay tuned. But what about the phone? You can't just screw it on directly. So here is actually a lot of options how you can do that, and about this we'll have another video too. For now I will use this newer cage. So let's go see the result. As you can see, now everything looks okay. We keep our setting the same and we don't have problems with exposure anymore. So this is how you deal with daylight. At night, obviously you don't need sunglasses. Okay guys, fifth part, and I think the most important one. Practice. It doesn't matter how much theory you know about video. If you don't use this, it's useless. So grab your phone or camera and start create your own stories through the lens. Again, as I said earlier, you can probably find some additional videos about the topic what we talked today on my channel. If you think that I missed something essentially super important for new videographers, please go in the comments and share your thoughts. I will read every comment. And please support this video with like. I spent a lot of time to create this video for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.